And I want to give a little backstory because Daniel didn't really talk about it much on his channel or at all. I don't think he did. And I have some because, I was going to show you all. But my stepdad, Kevin, we actually call him Grumpy. He's on Dusty's videos a lot. And he raises sheep, show lambs, and has for many years, many years. Hey y'all, how are you? I'm good. I'm actually freezing. It's so cold. We had a cold front last night. EmmaLee had to go up to the barn and work with her sheep, clean it, wash it, all that good stuff. And then we get home and we had storms and tornadoes. I don't think there was ever actually a tornado seen or spotted, but tornado warnings were going off. And anyway, so now fixing to head to the sale barn again, show barn, whatever. And EmmaLee's gonna show her sheep. Looks a little easier than a steer. Than a heifer. This is great practice for you to give Gemma more baths. It takes a village.
Yeah, he's a wet.
Okay, 98, hold on. 98 pounds.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes. Sheep's ready to go?
Huh?
Sheep's ready to go?
Yep.
It's right over there. Huh?
Grumpy's making faces at me.
Where's Grumpy? Where is it? Oh, he over there? Okay. I'll quit embarrassing you.
Okay.
Gotta work at lamb at home more, EmmaLee.
Well, this particular pair, they come in, similar from the standpoint of just how much power and product they have. You could open both of them up and give them just a little more punch up high, and as you get in behind them, a little more pop out the back as far as their inner thigh and twist region, and just get a little more muscular expression there. I think probably it just comes down to which one that you like compositionally the best, the one that's just stouter featured, bigger footed, probably better as far as general build and all, and that would be the weather. Young lady here on the left with the weather lamb will win this particular division, and the young lady behind her will be second.
Breed champion goes to EmmaLee Arms, Sulphur FFA. Following the selection of our overall grand market lamb and reserve and bronze, We'll do our bread gnomes, then we'll do showmanship, and then we'll do pictures for the newspaper.
Well, pairs you go through, we don't have that many, so certainly you, it's not hard to remember them at all. Not that I wouldn't remember them anyway. I mean, we could have 150 head, but if you get hit 2 or 3 that just really hit you hard, you don't forget them. I was a little picky about underline on that, but when I get off of him, I like his underline as he comes back in here. And I think between him and the one that won the Hampshire division, the difference is that he's just more robust through the center of his rib and his upper back. I think if you just get on top of him and look down through those 2 sheep, that one just opens up and gives you more dimension right through his center. Huge hip. I really like that one a great deal. That one will be champion. The Hampshire will be reserved. Well, that one that was reserve cross got beat by a really nice sheep, and certainly taking nothing away. That one, when you get up high, it's certainly got some muscular shape and product. And as you compare that particular pair of sheep, that one just gives you so much more dimension and width. And although I'd like him to be a shot leaner, as I handle him over his rib, maybe open him up just ever so slightly there in his pin set. He's my 3rd favorite when you use a reserve cross for your bronze medal market lamb. Well, here in their intermediate division, I don't think anybody just overwhelms the group. It's about, of course, I'm thinking back to when they came in and they showed in their particular classes or divisions as we went through the sheep show. But honestly, it's kind of, when I judge a showmanship, it's kind of a combination of where they were at when they did that and where they're at when they come back in here. And I have a pair of granddaughters that show, and they'll come and work their sheep now and then, and I've got a younger one that's a bit of a handful. She's a 5th grader, and she's full of spunk, but she had a bit of a struggle for about 10 minutes with the sheep, and finally she got him all set up, and I walked over to handle him, and she said, "You like my sheep?" And I said, "He's okay." And she said, "Well, what does he need?" And I said, "Practice." And he needs some practice, more than you're giving him. So they'll do what you ask them to do, but you got to practice. And so wasn't setting up quite like she wanted, but it wasn't the sheep's fault, it was her fault. You got to practice. And if you don't, then they're not going to cooperate when you hit the ring. And probably the one that I remember him when he was in earlier, and is still doing the best job with feet and leg placement and all. That'd be the young man. He's going to be your champion intermediate showman.
Intermediate.
Well, we just made it back home, and the show went really good. EmmaLee actually got breed champion, and I want to give a little backstory because Daniel didn't really talk about it much on his channel, or at all. I don't think he did. And I have some because, I was going to show you all. But my stepdad, Kevin, we actually call him Grumpy. He's on Dusty's videos a lot. And he raises sheep, show lambs, and has for many years, many years. And he had a good one that he wanted EmmaLee to show this year. And so that's how come she decided to go for the sheep. Also, heifers are a lot of work, very expensive, and just for our local show, because we don't travel and show, it just really wasn't feasible to keep showing the heifers. And I kind of think the kids kind of lost interest in it a little bit too, which is fine. So she wanted to try sheep, and Grumpy, Kevin, helped her. She practiced a little bit. She didn't get to practice near as much as she wanted or would have been ideal, because of basketball and school. There's just not a lot of time between 3, and dark to practice working with the animal when, you've got basketball till 4 or whatever, So anyway, but she showed today and she did excellent. She got breed champion, and then we'll go back on Saturday for the premium sale. I don't know that I'll show any of that here, because it's kind of boring. And this year they're not even bringing usually you have to bring your animal back in the show ring, during the premium sale, and they're not even doing that this year. So yeah, that's where we're at. And it's been a great day. Last night there was so much rain and wind, and now it's really cold, and it's only supposed to get colder. So more than likely I'm going to be busting some ice tomorrow. Fun times. Oh, I do want to tell a story. So when my mom and Kevin got married, he was already, raising sheep back then, show lambs. And he wanted me to try and work a sheep. And he thought it'd be a good idea that I try. And I tried to tell him I didn't think it'd be a good idea. I did not like sheep or animals. Really hadn't been around them a whole lot at that age in my life. And so one day he had me come down to the barn. He said, just come down here and you're going to set this sheep up. So my, 15-year-old self, 16-year-old went down there in shorts and flip-flops. And he was like, what are you wearing? What are we doing? And then as I'm trying to set up the sheep, obviously it's like stepping all over my feet, and I'm grabbing about that. Well, then my legs break out from the wool, from the oils in their wool, because it was getting all over me. And so I'm scratching and itching, and the sheep stepping all over my feet. Anyway, needless to say, that was not my thing. He said, you're done. Go back to the house. We tried. So he'd sent me a picture when EmmaLee was working it one afternoon, and I said, well, I think it's going better than it did with me. She didn't show up in flip-flops. So anyway, we're going to go feed some animals and see what else we can get into today. Song of the video is Things That Matter by Jameson Rogers. I think that's what it is. Yes, y'all go listen to that song. So good. It's pretty new, and I think he's a fairly new singer too. So y'all go look that up, listen to it, and guys, as always, do your best.